You're listening to MisUnderstanding Dementia podcast. This episode is brought to you by MisUnderstanding Dementia course, and you can put in 50 to get a 50% discount on the course. Thank you.
Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Mike Chua, physical therapist, certified dementia practitioner, and today we've got a special guest in our podcast today, MisUnderstanding Dementia podcast. I am here with Chad Welch. Am I pronouncing your name right, Chad?
Correct. That's right. Welch, W-E-L-C-H.
Awesome. Well, Chad here is actually a full-time caregiver that takes care of her mother, and he is actually the administrator of one of the Alzheimer's and dementia support group that we are supporting. So tell me about yourself, Chad. I mean, where are you from?
Well, I live in just outside Boston, Massachusetts, a couple miles, a city called Somerville. I'm 37 years old. My mother, she's 72. She retired at 65. When she retired, she got sick. Just before her retirement, she started getting symptoms. So she wasn't able to enjoy her retirement. So it's been a little over almost 7 years now, excuse me, that I've been caring for her. I'm also an electrician, which I basically, sacrificed my life to take care of her in my job and career at this point, to care for my mother, because I don't want to put her in a nurse home. I don't even entertain that thought. But yeah, that's as far as me, that's what's going on right now. But,
Oh wow! You mentioned 7 years, Chad. So when you learn when she got diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia, so you took care of her immediately, huh?
Well, yes, my father, he was supposed to help. They were separated, but they were still married, and he went for an operation. He died during the operation, but he had plans to come back and help take care of her. But that didn't go as planned. So when things like that happen, you got to do what you got to do. When you don't have family that steps up or that wants to help, you gotta. I'm her son, so I have an older brother. He's almost 50, I think. I'm not really even sure, but he has no, he doesn't even call or anything. So it's just me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about earlier before we went live. We talked about that caring for a family member is sometimes very stressful, but I know sometimes we want to look for a job, but right now I work full time too, and I had a hard time taking care of my parents. So I think you are doing a good job there, Chad, in taking care of your loved ones. So I really appreciate you taking care of your mother full time. So
yes, thank you. But it's still hard. You still need to work, and it's just a catch-22 at some points. Like she doesn't really, she's not qualified for for a lot of care because she makes too much. She receives too much income. So a lot of the care that's out there she can't receive. So in that case, I have to care for her myself, and I'd like to go to work, but that's one of the big challenges is like it's tough for me to work caring for her. Finding someone I could trust to hire to come here and so forth, and you know what I mean. I'm trying to go to school at night, a couple of nights a week to get my electrical license. It's a lot on me. It's a lot of stress.
Oh wow! So you're going to school too, huh?
Yes.
Oh wow! Well, that's an inspiration there. A lot of our possible listeners here, I'm sure they're having some hard time taking care of their family too. So if you're doing it, you're taking care of your mother full time, and you're going back to school, I think you can be a great inspiration to the rest of our listeners too. So I think that's a good thing there, man. So thank you for being an inspiration here.
Well, I hope so. But when it's your mother or your father, it's like you go that extra mile because it's your parent. I mean, I don't know. I just couldn't picture putting her in a home or anything like that. I mean, she took care of me when I was little. You know what I mean? Never turned her back on me. So it's like now it's my turn to take care of her.
That's right. Well, thank you very much.
They're our parents. You only get one of them, and you only get these memories once in your lifetime, So you gotta hold on to them because you never know when they're not going to be here,
That's true. That's the one thing I really regret when a week before or a month before my father passed away, I had the chance to take all the pictures. I even had the chance to take a video of him, but I didn't do it. I was actually thinking, I was thinking of bringing my camera and, put a tripod and ask him some questions. But I said, no, it's not the perfect time. I don't think he's still going to live for another year. And after a month, man, when he died, and I said, gosh, I wish I took all those videos. I wish I took all those pictures. And
Was he even able to answer the video, like answer your questions on Mike? Like if you were to ask him, like put a tripod up and ask him questions, do you think he was able at the state of mind that he could answer those questions?
oh
'Cause I know
yeah,
my mother can't. My mother can't answer those questions right now.
well, what he had is just a mild cognitive impairment secondary to the
Okay.
complication of the cancer. So,
Oh, all right.
I mean, he wasn't on that end stage. He was on that early, first two stages. So, he was
I
able
see.
to answer. He's still cognitive enough to understand me and know that I'm his, son. But like what I said, especially in the early stages, that'll be
Right.
actually awesome for us to really, record and, put the pictures on our loved ones. So I see you taking a picture of your mother, eating and everything. Man, those are
Yeah.
just treasured memories, man. Those are,
Yeah. I mean, something you can look back to on. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Just remember, remember the struggles you went through, you know what I mean, dealing with this. I mean, yeah, it gets rough sometimes, but there are some good moments. And my mother, she's probably at like between stage 5 and 6 right now,
oh
somewhere in
wow,
between there.
oh wow,
So, I mean, it's probably nearing the end eventually. So,
mhm.
gotta make the best out of it right at this
That's
point.
that's right, that's right. Well, the next question on our list here is, how did you end up being the caregiver of your mother?
There was nobody else,
Nobody else?
no, like I said, my father was supposed to help, and he had an operation and he open heart surgery and he passed away during his surgery. He stopped breathing. Like I said, I have an older brother. He doesn't, he doesn't take care. I have an uncle, her brother, who when I wasn't in the picture did come around, but he stole $70,000 out of her IRA account. And when I found that out, I had to get rid of him. You know what I mean? Like I didn't tell him to come around here anymore. I mean, so there's family that will take advantage of the sick. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or people when they're sick, or when they see them at their lowest points. And those are the people you don't want around. And for the most part, my family doesn't come around, nor do they call or ask, about her. So, I've always been around. It's my mother, so I just basically took it upon myself.
Okay,
You know,
well, I think that's one of the major struggles that caregivers experience now, not having enough help. Am I correct?
right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. All right,
I
well,
mean, I'm single and no kids. So, I'm not married or anything, so it's just me. So I don't have that other help anyway, as far as if I had a spouse or something or kids to help me.
that's
Uh,
good. No wonder all these women in our group, they just really
yeah.
love you, man.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
guess I think they respect it.
Mhm.
They respect
Because
people like that.
you're doing a great job, man. Not all men. I'll just say son or kids or daughter will do what you're doing. So I think you're doing a good job, man. So,
I appreciate it. Thank you,
uh,
Mike.
all right. Okay. So, our next question is, why do you think caregivers experience, burnout? Why do you think, we're having burnout?
Oh man, everything you're dealing with, it's all overwhelming. It's a lot of stress. It's just you're doing everything.
Mhm.
I mean, it's very easy to burn out, and especially if you're working or trying to go to school if you have kids or if you have a spouse or if, even animals. I mean, all that plus taking care of your loved one. I mean, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the bills, the laundry, the dishes. I mean, everything. It's just there's a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot to do. So I mean, it's very easy to burn out doing everything,
That's
especially when you
true.
take all that whole responsibility on yourself. You have no help with anything. Yeah, it's very easy to burn out.
That's true. That's true, man. I just remembered, we took care of our grandmother who, during that time, we didn't know about dementia. During that time in the Philippines, this is probably during the 90s. And,
Right? You thought people? They said they thought people they were just crazy.
yeah, and we didn't have that diagnosis in the Philippines. So everybody think that she was just crazy. And
Right?
it was my mom.
That's sad.
And, yeah, it was my mom and me. And, she would just poop on the floor at nighttime, but first thing in the morning, she could get up and go to the bathroom, and then we
Right.
were cleaning poop in the floor, so it was just so bad. So now we've got dogs at home. You mentioned about your dog.
Yep.
We've got three dogs here, so if we get some poop in the floor, I'm like, this is nothing compared to what we
Yeah,
had before.
dog's poop is easy to clean up. Now, human
Mhm.
poop is a lot different, It's a lot
Right.
messier.
That's
And I
right.
think it smells worse, too,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I came from I worked at the nursing home this morning, and I had to change one brief of one of my patients, and help them out how to change it. So it is. I believe you. That the smell is just worse.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's tough. It's a tough job that you have, too, in the nursing home, because you're dealing with a lot of different people, right?
Yes, man. I mean, especially with the geriatric or the older people,
Yep.
most of the time they don't recognize, and they have lost that filter of being nice to people. So most of the
Yeah, they just
time,
something mean.
yeah,
Yep.
they see me as especially those people who have served in the service in the military,
They
and
see you as a threat.
for example, they
Yeah.
went to they fought war at Vietnam or whatever, and they think of me like a Vietnamese, and
That's
that
pretty.
I'm part of their enemy or something like that. Or I had one
I think
patient.
it's sad.
Yeah, I had one patient. She didn't really like me because she thought I was Vietnamese that killed her husband. So those stuff there is just really challenging. So
Yeah. I mean, that's like, to cut you off, but like why I won't put my mom in a nursing home, because I look at them like almost like human warehouses,
mhm.
Not to disrespect, not to put in, disrespect anybody that puts them in there. In my opinion, I think people go there to die. You know what I mean? I mean, they're not treated in a lot of places fairly, and they just get pumped full of drugs, and their living quality, or they're not there to stay alive. I mean, as opposed to if you keep them home, around faces that they know, around loved ones, they think they're much happier, but they get lonely and depressed there, I think. I think they live longer when they're at home around loved ones
That's
than they
true.
would if they were in a nursing home.
That's
That's
true.
my opinion. That's why I wouldn't even entertain the thought to put my mother in a nursing home. I think she would just go downhill quick,
Yeah,
like most people do.
definitely, that's true. I believe you that the true healing and the true recovery is really at home. So that's why I also work in home health, where we provide
Right.
services at home. Unfortunately, you're right. There are bad nursing homes out there. That's why I really choose the nursing home I work for, or I service or consult for, because there are really bad nursing homes out there that
Yeah.
they don't really take care of their patients. So
Right.
fortunately, the nursing homes that I go to and consult with, they do have a good, home nursing home program. They do have a good activities and therapy program. But like what I said, like what you mentioned, there are bad nursing homes out there, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
the one that we don't want to go, and we don't
I
want
don't
to
think
take
a lot
our.
of them have the oversight they should have. I think they might need more oversight as well. For
Mm-hmm.
the people that are there. I mean, obviously, if they're a lot of these nursing homes, there must be no oversight on them to watching what's going on there. You know what I mean? Or other people. I mean, they're alone with your loved one. You don't know what's going on, what they're doing to them. And it's someone with an Alzheimer's, or dementia. They not like they're going to be able to tell you what happened. You know what I mean? If something did happen. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to remember. And they know that too. The people that work there know that. But just my thought. I mean, just figured I'd throw that in there. But no disrespect to you, Mike. Since you work in a nursing home, I know you're a good guy. I mean, there are bad apples everywhere. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's true. That's true. So anyway, our next question here, Chad, moving along, is what helped you in the journey, and what is that one thing that you wish you knew before all of this happened? So.
That helps me with this journey.
Mhm.
Probably the love of my mother.
Okay.
The love oversees everything. The way I care about and how I love my mother unconditionally, as well as she loved me unconditionally. And what did you, the second question was what, Mike?
What is the one thing that you wish you knew before all of this happened?
That I wish I knew.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that ended. I mean, I wish, my mother would have went and got, help in the beginning, or, she didn't want to go to the doctors and stuff when she started getting sick, and we knew, but she didn't want to go and get looked at. But like, I guess there's nothing I can wish, and it is what it is, it's nothing is going to change it. You know what I mean? I don't think anything could have changed it. You just never know something like this is going to happen. You never know you're going to be put in a position like this. Nobody asked for it. You just end up here.
That's right.
I don't know if that answered your question, but I can't really answer that. I really don't know, I really don't have an answer to that question.
I love what you said earlier. What helped you in this journey is the love of your mother, and that is actually what we really need to share. And
that's all that gets you through this.
Yeah.
Your love for your loved one. I mean, that's what gets you by, gets you through. I mean, when it's your mother, she might not be the same person as she was, but she's still the same woman.
That's right.
You try to remember that, I mean, she's still your mother, regardless. It's not her fault what's happening to her. It's the disease, Some people say, oh, they get mad and they say, don't tell me it's the disease. Well, I'm sorry, but it is the disease. Just like an addict, it's a disease.
That's
right. They are who they are because of this disease. I mean, they weren't like that prior to this disease, but this disease has changed them to be who they are now. You know what I mean?
It made them worse.
When they're fighting and they're angry, or getting mad and doing weird stuff, it's the disease. It's not her, Their brain is shutting down,
Well, that's right. Thank you for sharing that is the disease. It's not them. It's not the caregiver. It's not you. It's actually the disease itself. So sometimes It's just hard to understand that and explain that to the caregivers. And it's good that you really understand it.
Because the people get mad, they're like, oh, it's not, she wasn't like this before, or she used to do stuff before, but it's not them anymore, I mean, people hold that grudge, that resentment that they have towards their parent from what happened, because every family was raised differently, or had a different experience with their parents, Maybe their mother wasn't the mother that they wanted them to have, but my mother wasn't too bad. I mean, she had her, things, but I mean, people think that it's just them, that it's not the disease. Well, it really is the disease. Like, they try to use it as an excuse, that she's doing this and it's not the disease, it's her doing this. No, it isn't. It's funny, but I see it in the group a lot, It makes me laugh because I'm sorry, but it is,
It is, yeah, it is. Well, anyway, last question, Chad. Last question. I know you're busy. What advice you can give to other caregivers who are experiencing this journey like yours?
Just to do your research, just to love your parent, your loved one, no matter what, try to make them happy. Don't argue with them, or get mad at them. I mean, because, the way you feel obviously kind of, reflects on them in a way. Like, you can lose your cool sometimes and, you end up, putting it onto them. But, you got to research the disease and it's everything and see what, find out what's really going on. And you want to know, have some of your facts with everything, and get everything in order. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and just do the best you can, I mean, that's what I do. I just do the best I can do, May not be perfect, but it is what it is. To be in the situation I didn't have to be in, sacrifice everything, but I just try to do the best I can do, and I just try to learn as I go along, we all make mistakes. We're all human, but I mean, I want her to be happy. But a lot of people argue with their loved ones, but it's not good because, it doesn't get anywhere.
That's
they
right.
Get mad and stuff.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, especially with this disease, they don't know, so just yes them to death, or just agree with them, or agree to disagree, or whatever, It's not going to get you anywhere. They're just going to get more upset, and you're going to get upset, and you know what I mean? So, that's really it. That's all I can really say about it,
Well, thank you for those advice. I really appreciate it. I actually wrote it down here, Chad.
Great.
I mean, I really like it because first thing that you mentioned is about research. really have to research about it. Dementia, Alzheimer's, vascular dementia, every single type
Yeah.
of dementia is different. So
Onset, Lewy body,
yeah,
frontal lobe. There's a lot. Drug, toxin. Like there's a whole bunch of different ones
there you go.
for
So,
dementia.
for all our listeners out there, I would really recommend, identify what kind of dementia your loved one has, and from there, go and research more in that way, because every type of dementia is different. Vascular is
Did you
different.
say vascular? Vascular
Yeah,
dementia is another
yeah,
one. You did? Okay.
yeah. Vascular dementia is different. Frontotemporal dementia is different.
Yeah.
So I really like what you said about, doing a research. And you also mentioned about love. I think
Of
that
course.
is number one for me.
Important.
Yeah, we can do all the research in the world. We can take care of them, and bring them to the best nursing home, or bring them to the best caregiver. But if we don't love them, I think that's nothing. So I think you hit the nail on the head there, man. The love, and you keep on repeating it. And I already asked you earlier. You said love already on the first few minutes of this interview, and I think, man, that is the reason why you're overflowing with all this friends and fans in your Facebook page. So I think that's really good, man. So
Hey, it's like I learned, you just gotta love and be kind to people, It goes a long way, than hating people and hating everybody around you,
I know.
People vibe off of you, the way they know,
That's
how
right.
you are.
That's right.
If you're giving out a good vibe of love and kindness, a lot of people, they feel it, they give it
true.
back.
Yeah, and that is very
People
true.
can read other people, the character, how they are, their character as a human being, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So forth,
that is so true, Chad. Because evidence-based show, even though our dementia patients cannot verbalize and understand you, but if they see your demeanor, and if you're happy or smiling, they can still understand you. So
Right.
yeah, that is very true. That is very true.
And then they're happy and smiling,
That's right. That's right. Any last parting wisdom that we can learn from you, Chad?
Anything else that you can learn from me?
Yeah, I mean, we're here to learn from you, man. So
I don't know, I don't. I'm doing laundry right now. You guys can, do laundry. You want to learn some laundry from me? No.
How to balance laundry and caregiving, right?
Yeah, balance everything. Your whole life, basically in caregiving. I mean, because like you said, if the caregivers, people don't understand how much is thrown on the caregivers, understand what we go through. We go through a lot, it's very sad and depressing and tough, what we go through as being caregivers. And a lot of caregivers don't get enough of credit, because people don't understand. It's very tough, My mother just wet the bed and so forth, and I'm down here doing laundry. Put the pads under her and stuff, so I gotta, they're all wet. What happened this morning happened this afternoon, so I'm doing laundry.
There you go. There you go. That's why we created and started this MisUnderstanding Dementia podcast for caregivers by caregivers. So that's our goal there. So
well, it's great, to get the message out, Mike. People need to understand.
There you go.
Yeah, it's about the patient, but it's also about the caregiver. I mean, if caregivers, what's going to happen to the people with the Alzheimer's? You know what I mean?
Mhm. That's right.
You gotta have good caregivers, or loved ones to care about you, because
Amen.
they're the only ones that are going to be there for the patient.
That's right. All right. Well,
But,
again, thank you very much, everyone, for listening to our podcast. And this is Dr. Mike Chua and our special guest for today, Chad Welch. Again, thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mike.
You're listening to MisUnderstanding Dementia podcast. This episode is brought to you by MisUnderstanding Dementia course, and you can put in 50 to get a 50% discount on the course. Thank you.